All right, welcome all sports fans and everyone across the nation. This is Uneducated Sports Talk presenting Tuesdays with TJ. Sorry for the delay earlier, you guys, but we are in the building now. Thank y'all for the love and the support. I appreciate everyone joining us for Tuesdays with TJ. And this is episode number 2, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna wait until some more folks get in here. I know they're dying to get in here, so I'm ready to rock and roll with this, y'all. But we got a great show for tonight. Sorry for the mishap, but we are definitely back here. Let me make sure it's all good now. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Hold on. I'm making sure we're good.
Hi, Travis.
Yeah, we are live. I got people in the building now. We've got people in the building showing love. They said Travis 303 is in the building, so shout out to Travis.
The one time I didn't wear my Sudbury Cricket Club hat. Travis turns up.
Yes, sir. So we got folks in the building now. I got Travis 303 and Insane News is all good. Yeah, we had some technical difficulties on my side of it, man. I don't know what's going on, but we are climbing up the poles now. We got people coming in showing love, y'all. So welcome to Tuesdays with TJ, episode number 2. I'm your host, Carlos Clayton, with my co-host PJ and the best host of all, TJ Tracy. Y'all know him as TJ Tracy 2378. What's up, TJ?
What is up? How is everyone doing? I hope they've had a fantastic Tuesday.
Yes, sir, man. Doing well, man. It's been hot. I don't know about,
Huh?
and you can brag all day about your weather in London and in the UK. I mean, you can brag all
Weather
day
in
about
London.
it, man. What is it right now? Because the temperature seems
Oh.
to be the hottest topic on the streams lately.
Weather today, it got to 24 degrees Celsius. Hold on.
Fahrenheit, man. We need Fahrenheit.
Okay, all right. I'm trying. I'll change to the American way.
So we want him to brag to everybody about this.
57. That's the hottest it got today.
Because today, y'all, it reached 120 degrees.
Oh.
120 degrees today, y'all. It was horrible. But I thank goodness that I was not outside. I was not outside at all. I was not
The
outside. I probably did
yeah,
maybe about an hour of work outside at the most today.
that's nasty. It looks like the hottest I'm gonna have the entire next week is next Tuesday at a whopping 82 degrees.
Oh my goodness. What I would do for 82 degrees right now, man. I'm telling y'all. Yo, we got folks in the chat right now. I got generic ball man. GBM's in the building. Peter said, what's up, GBM? Got the beautiful Markai. Says, hey, TJ and PJ. So what's up, Markai? We got Travis
Hello.
303 in the building. You guys are awesome. Dan McKean, our moderator, says hi. He says goal is 15 likes. Goal is y'all can do whatever likes you guys want. I appreciate you guys coming there. Smack that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're brand new to the channel. And hit that share button. Share this stream. Share this to everyone across the nation, the world. Yeah, it's all love, man. Samuel says hello on Educated Sports Talk and good evening, y'all. So y'all know this is our podcast. What's up, Samuel? Peter said, what's up, S-Dub? Yeah, this is our podcast. So we're going to treat it like a podcast. So you guys keep the chat rocking and rolling, man. We'll answer your questions at the end of the stream. If you got major questions for the NFL, let us know at the end of the stream. I'll let you guys know when we'll start answering questions. But, of course, if you have super chats, super stickers, we'll definitely give you a shout out ASAP. Or if we just see a really good question right then and there, we'll talk about it, you guys. So we got a lot of stuff going on for the NFL. Week 1 preseason has came and went, my friend.
It did indeed. Wow.
Give me your overall vibe of Week 1 preseason. Just the vibe of it.
Oh, it's been good. It's like football is back, which is good, but you can tell the starters aren't starting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, that's cool. Maybe for 2 or 3 drives, and it's like, oh, okay, now the backups.
Like the only way you get excited is if you're watching your own team, right? If you're
Yeah,
watching
yeah,
a
yeah.
random game, you're done after the first 5 minutes of the game. You're like, you know
Oh,
what?
definitely, yeah.
Yeah. For the casual fan. But if you're sitting there like me, my Saints and Junior Eagles, if we're gonna sit there and watch that whole thing because we want to scout the new talent that coming in
Oh,
to our
yeah,
teams.
definitely.
Yeah. So
It's
that's
like one player does one thing, you're like, yeah, it's a victory. It's like potentially good.
I'm telling you, it's fun for your team, but as an overall haul, it gets boring pretty quick. But
Oh,
we got a lot of folks who actually love preseason because they love to watch the entire talent because every superstar that we know in the NFL has once gone and played in the preseason before, right?
Yep.
From
Yep.
from the goats, from the Jerry Rices to the Deion Sanders to now the Pat Mahomes and the Derrick Henrys. They've all played in preseason in some shape or form, and it's always exciting to find out who the next big star might be. It always starts with preseason, and I
Yeah.
always tell folks, you know, those starters, like they should get a lot of reps. Those same starters are getting a bunch of reps against these joint practices,
Yeah.
and so everyone's like, well, people forget that there are actually practices and scrimmages that go in through this. That's why the starters don't start in these games, because they get enough of the reps as it is already for the first couple weeks of training camp. They go on in these joint ventures and face
Yeah.
like Houston and New Orleans always together every year because of geographical stuff, and they
Yep.
always will find a way to have a joint practice, and then they're ones against our ones, they're twos against our twos, and that's how it
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it spot on. Like our coach Nick was. People were like, "Why didn't the starters play? Why didn't the starters play?" It's like, well, we've got like 4 games in a row when these joint practices, which I actually care about, where I want to get the rookies the actual game day experience, how to suit up for a game, how to experience the crowds, and actually see what they're like in that period. But he looks at the joint practices on where they need to improve and what areas they're good at and stuff like that. So it is the joint practices that I feel like the coaches and even the players care for more. But then again, the preseason is needed for the 12th person on the roster, a depth chart that needs to put film out there to show that he is good and stuff like that. And hey, you might find some gems in the preseason. So
That's what it's all about.
who knows?
We've always said it, like, you want to win the game, but at the end of the day, coaches are going to preach winning the game, but they don't care about the W or the L's of the actual preseason. They all only care about these guys getting better and executing
Yeah.
every single drive play, because you never know. Like, these guys, and preseason might be to some the toughest kind of game, because everyone is playing for their livelihood per se.
Mhm.
So these guys are giving their all. They're just not as talented as the main roster guys.
Got you, yeah, and yeah, not a lot of people don't care about preseason except the Ravens. What, they're 25 game undefeated, and they're the only team that seems to care about it. And it's getting to the point where I wouldn't be surprised if one person literally puts all of their starters in for the entire game just to break that
It'd
record.
be
Just be like, look,
crazy, right?
we're all suck now.
I mean, you're talking over 6 years of
Yeah.
not losing a preseason game. That's crazy. Like, I saw that stat just a couple of days ago. They were 23-0, then they won and were 24. And I'm like, whoa! Like, these guys get up for preseason, man. They they,
I
they,
know.
they push, and it's not like the Browns where they go 4-0 and then go 0-16. It's the Ravens. The Ravens have been good even in that
Yeah,
stretch. So
no.
it's just a culture, I guess, coaching staff
Yeah,
from top to
Jim
bottom.
Harbaugh says he wants to get any person on the team used to a winning mentality.
Yes.
So that's his reasoning.
I, I,
But
I like that though. I mean, hey, it ain't tricking if you got it, man. If you win
no,
like
that's
that,
true.
you can say what you want to say, because it's obviously working for
Yeah.
the Ravens, and it will be some psychopath to put a lot of money down on their 25th win, and they'll lose.
Oh yeah, yeah.
you
That's
know,
what we're
I'm,
waiting.
I'm betting the house, I'm betting the farm on the Ravens, baby, preseason style, and
As
then
soon as you see that bet come in, you need to do the opposite.
yeah, yeah, for real. Do the opposite, man. Yeah, that's how it goes, y'all. Hey, we just got word. There's a $1 million bet out there for us, y'all. Need y'all to lose now. Yo, we got a $4.99. Let's call it even
Mark there.
$5 super chat from the beautiful Markai. So, what did you think about Sean Clifford's performance? Yes, the backup quarterback. And I did say, you guys, we will answer all super chat, super sticker questions. But the rest of the questions will come for the end of the night. So, thank you, Markai. We will answer that. Sean Clifford, I believe, went 20 out of 26. If I'm not correct about
Oh,
that.
that's good.
Yeah, and he looked the part. He looked like a valuable backup quarterback. I really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna go nowhere near saying he should start at all. No, I'm not saying that at all. Jordan Love to me is the clear starter until he's not, right?
Yeah.
And Clifford did his job. Now he played against threes and fours, some twos, but Love played against twos. So everyone calm down with love. But Clifford played against threes and fours, so I mean, but he did his job though, and what you
Yeah.
want from any position is to do your job. How you feel about Clifford's
It's
performance?
good. No, it's really good. Like I said, it needs to show what he's capable of. But it is true. It's like, yeah, he did very well against the twos and threes, but that's the twos and threes.
Right.
Like, if he goes against the ones, who knows? But that's where the joint practices come in. But hey, show what you got. Show that you've got the talent and you're able to go out, run the offense, and be like, boom, that's why I am now. Hopefully, keep me around.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think he did enough just in this performance to be on the 53 man roster, be number 2 quarterback. I think he did enough, Marcon.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to Sean Clifford, Penn State Lion. All right, y'all. Well,
Penn State.
yeah, Penn State. Speaking of quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, we know the best part about preseason is to find those top tier quarterbacks and see their first overall action. These guys aren't good enough right now to miss out on preseason games because this is where it really counts because you want look, the joint practices are fine for everybody else but the quarterback because the quarterback can't get touched in these joint
Yeah.
practices. But now in the preseason games, you can
And
get
get hit.
touch. You can get hit.
Yeah.
And the greatest thing about the NFL, we know that it is leaps and bounds better than college to high school to middle school. The NFL is the leaps and bounds, the best football of all, right? And everyone's fast. Everyone's talented. Everyone's strong. And now you got your young quarterbacks. We're talking about Bryce Young, number 1 overall pick to the Carolina Panthers, and CJ Stroud. Was he number 2? To the
Yeah,
Houston, yeah,
Stroud was.
he
Yeah,
was
he was
2,
two.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was 2, and Will
Yeah.
Anderson was 3 to the Texans. All right,
That's it. Yeah.
yeah. So we had C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, number 1, number 2, and boy, did they struggle. Um,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
they did.
but the thing is preseason. Bryce Young, 10 plays overall, did not look good. Took a couple of sacks. Stroud also same 10-ish plays. Uh, he had one good pass, the first pass ever, and then after that, it was all downhill from sacks to interceptions for Stroud on limited action in their first ever preseason games. Yo, TJ, my question to you, man. My question to you is, how much stock do we put into rookie quarterbacks in the preseason?
Not a lot. It's like they're rookies. They're going to get these mistakes. You'd rather them do it in the preseason. And you sort of felt sorry for CJ Stroud because he was going against Bill Belichick, and I'm pretty sure he eats rookie QB souls for breakfast. But yeah, so you got to let the mistakes happen, and hopefully they learn from the mistakes. And yeah, they were only one in total. They did like 15 plays. It wasn't a lot. So that's not even a quarter. So for the rest of the game, they might have settled down and got used to it. But you can't put a lot of stock in preseason, especially when it comes to rookies, because the amount of rookies that have struggled. Well, even in their first year, look at Peyton Manning. I think he still holds the record for the most INTs for a rookie ever. Does that mean he's not a Hall of Famer? You know,
Right, facts. If you
yeah,
counted Peyton Manning's rookie year for his career, you say, "Yep, that guy's about the year like he about the league in 2 years, 2 3 years."
precisely.
So yeah, so I get you.
Yeah, you just got to let them develop, and hopefully they've got the coaching and the support around them to develop. I feel like they do, but yeah, that's what you got to do. And I reckon game number 2 is when they're going to start to really put stuff together. Like
Okay.
preseason number 2.
Yeah,
It's I reckon they play a bit more and they understand it a bit more, and you've got the joint practices, so it's not like they're coming fresh straight into a defense either. So.
facts. I agree with you though, TJ. Especially look, all these guys they're going to struggle. It's their
Yeah.
first ever lights on national TV watching you. Their first ever game. I don't care if it's against 2s and 3s because those same 2s and 3s are just as good as those college players they played against. Yes, they struggled, but are they the first ever top tier quarterbacks to struggle? No.
No.
You mentioned Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning probably had, we went 3-13 his rookie year, 28
Oh.
interceptions, but he was still a God-given talent. It's about the team around you when it's all
Yeah.
said and done. Stroud and Bryce Young, look, they're when you're the number one and number two picks, that means you went to the number one and number two worst teams from the year before,
Yeah.
right? So basically saying that these teams are in rebuild mode, and that means you got to rebuild with your quarterback. That being said,
Indeed.
the quarterbacks are going to struggle because your team wasn't good last year, and just because you add a quarterback doesn't mean they'll be good this year, right? It takes a couple years to build your franchise quarterback, but you know that with the talent that he possesses, you want to mix the rest of your team around those guys. So to put like for people freaking out, and the media is going to freak out all the time.
Of course they are.
They're gonna freak
Clickbait.
out, but they get paid. That's how you get viewers and ratings, and not get
Yeah.
all that, right? C.J. Stroud, he looked horrendous, y'all.
Oh, tell me about it.
And all of a sudden now that's gonna be what he is for the year. I don't think so. These teams in preseason are all vanilla. Everything's
Yeah.
vanilla.
Yeah.
Vanilla offense. The defense are vanilla. And I've always said if you want to make a team, if you're a guy that's undrafted or a late draft pick, you're trying to make a team, you gotta be extraordinary in the
Yeah.
ordinary. Guys like Stroud and Young, they'll be fine. They're making a team regardless. But as far as their first ever performances, look, you really put a lot more stock in these joint practices, like we said earlier. I have a feeling that they'll be fine, not per se wins and losses, because they're both probably going to struggle this year. But as far as just the encouragement that you have throughout the year, the progression, it always starts. You got to start somewhere, and it's never going to be peaches and creams until they finally get it clicking with the entire team.
Yeah, precisely. You've got to have build the chemistry, understand the offense, and like the offense is going to be so vanilla because no one wants to give anything away. And no one wants to risk injury. There's no point. Like the Eagles did preseason. It was what 3rd and 1, and we didn't do our usual QB sneak because why would they?
Why?
They don't
Yeah.
want to risk the injury. Yeah. So yeah, you just got to go. Okay, hopefully that part sucked. They missed a couple throws there, but they look good at this part. You just got to look at the aspects, not the whole picture when it comes to preseason.
I mean, what would you say to the fan? Okay, a Houston fan or a Carolina fan watching that performance and they're freaking out. What would you tell them?
Give him time. You just got to give him time. It's not. You can't go in and immediately expect them to win a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Especially in the. I know they've been coaches for the first time, but they're first-time head coaches as well. You can't expect that to immediately walk in and go, "This is Bill Belichick and Tom Brady." You know what I mean? You've got to let the coaches grow, let the players grow, let them mesh. If it's like week 8 and they're still being terrible, then you can start sweating. But that can then look at the team or the coach. Like, have you got an Urban Meyer situation on your hands? You don't know. Trevor Lawrence sucked when he first started because of Urban Meyer.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The yes chance. Yeah, he
Especially-
sucked bad.
He's so bad you can't just write off Trevor because of that. So you just got to give him time, give him patience, and yeah, if it's a bust, it's a bust, unfortunately.
Right.
But you won't know that until.
If you're D'Amico Ryans, Frank Wright, the coaches for both teams, what do you want to see improved for week 2 of the preseason? I mean, obviously we know how vanilla things are, and you got to give them time, but you still want to see something positive. What are you looking forward to if you're the head coaches for these quarterbacks?
Well, I know CJ Stroud was on his back quite a lot, so you're hoping that he can recognise some of the rush and get the ball away so you don't lose that yardage. And then maybe, I know a lot of the QBs struggle with the leading of the eyes, if you know what I mean.
Right.
And it even happened with Jordan Love in the preseason. He was so focused on one player, it gave away the play. So you need to allow the QB to quickly go through the progressions and not give away, okay, I want to throw it to wide receiver number 1, but I don't want to stare directly into his soul to throw the ball. I have to semi-look around and then throw the ball.
Right. I feel you. Well, everyone knows me. I'm rooting for these guys. I don't speak bad on nobody, honestly. But I'm looking at Bryce Young, man. Y'all know how I feel about Bryce Young. I'm just like, I don't see it. I don't see it, but I hope that he does very well. But I'm like, it's about the quarterbacks that play for Alabama that I just never really trust, man. If you're an Alabama
Yeah.
quarterback, you got all that talent around you from the O line, the best O line in the college football, the best receivers, the best running backs, and like you have a clean
Mm,
pocket to throw to these crazy athletes, right? You're gonna look good. I'm hoping that Bryce Young does well, but right now I've really got to see it like from not from the start, but I gotta see something to make me go, all right, let's go, because everyone's so focused on
yeah.
he's so smart. He's so smart. I don't give a damn about smart. Just being smart and just playing football. Can he play
Yeah.
football? you
I
know,
see. I see.
that's how I
Um,
am.
Here's the question: Jalen Hurts technically was the first QB from Alabama to make it to a Super Bowl.
Right.
No, he wasn't drafted as an Alabama QB. He was an Oklahoma kid.
That's
So who gets the
crazy.
credit? Who gets the credit? Alabama or Oklahoma?
Well, right. I mean, I've always said this. Bama pretty much they're disloyal to him in the championship game of all games. So when you see his card, it says from Oklahoma. When he was drafted, it said
Yeah,
from Oklahoma.
yeah,
Oklahoma's going to claim him because Bama's going to claim him because they see his success, right?
yeah.
He went to
That's
Bama, but if Jalen Hurts was playing bad, Bama was like, oh yeah, he's the Oklahoma kid,
that's
But
exactly what happened. It was the first 2 years. Oh, he's Oklahoma. He's Oklahoma. And then the
yeah,
moment he got good, oh, it's Alabama. Kid
Alabama,
through. Yeah,
yeah. So I'm like,
Prince of Tides.
he's an Oklahoma kid. Bama can't claim him. They kicked him out pretty much in the championship game of all games. But hey, to their credit, they won that game with Tua Tagovailoa. But we'll see, man. But those rookies, you're right though, TJ. They've look, got to give them time. You can't put too much stock in it. And it drives me crazy for people putting way too much stock. Like your regular
Yeah,
season future is not based on preseason, and
yeah. No,
and, and
it
too
isn't.
many folks think like that.
Yeah, it's you can't do that. It's overreaction and recency bias. You, I don't understand that. Yeah, they might have one bad game. Doesn't mean they suck.
Yeah. So I'm good.
It's
Give them time.
very frustrating.
But you're right though. Let's wait till the regular season. By week 8, if they look god awful, then we can start
Yeah,
talking. But
yeah,
right now, you can't. You gotta give them time right now, man.
yeah. Precisely. Let them develop. Let them get used to what they're doing.
Hey,
And
we got some running back news for the last day and a half now, and some good news, ladies and gentlemen. So just over the last 24 hours, we've gotten not only one but two top tier running backs, or at least known running backs, who have now signed. We talk about same faces, different places. Well, now
yeah,
we got Ezekiel Elliott news and Dalvin Cook news. Ladies and gentlemen, Dalvin Cook being signed to the New York Jets for a 1-year deal worth up to
jeez.
$8.6 million. And then we have Ezekiel Elliott joining the AFC East as well as the running back for the New England Patriots. He gets a 1-year deal worth up to $6 million. So, hey, the running back, hey, that's not bad on a 1-year average, 8.6 and $6 million deal. So, my
No,
question for you, TJ, for these guys, who has the bigger impact for their teams, Dalvin Cook or Ezekiel Elliott?
I think it's going to be Zeke, and that
Ooh,
hurts my soul because he's a former Cowboy. But I see Zeke as such a typical New England Patriots running back.
mm,
He's just going to plow between the tackles, and I see him just going to be used on the goal line just to get in through the last 2 or 3 yards. So I reckon he's going to have the bigger impact simply because the use of the goal line, and plus the Jets, when he gets healthy, he's going to have Bryce Hall. So that'd be um, two running backs where I don't even know what they've. Do they still have Harris, the Patriots?
no,
Like
they have Rashandre Stevens.
Sandre Stevens.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's the starter, the starter, quote unquote, for the Patriots
got
for
yeah.
week 1.
I can see him being the one that gets most of the yards, and then Zeke is the one that pushes it into the end zone to get a touchdown. So we might have Zeke get like 400 yards, if that, and maybe like 15 touchdowns. And then
Ooh,
you got
the whole
something like that.
what's his name? Williams from the Lions last year,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like didn't have a lot of yards, but had a lot of touchdowns. Or it could be Zeke might have a monster game, 130 yards, like 3 touchdowns, and then we'll never hear him for the rest of the season. That's how Patriots running back seems to go.
It can go either way, huh? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Oh, hey, Patriots fan, let's hope for the former, not the latter.
That's what my friend's hoping for.
Hope for the former, not the latter, man. Go ahead.
I was going to say with the Jets as well. The Jets O line does have a bit of holes in them. It's not the best O line, so yeah, Cook's still got the tan. I think he's got the most still left in the tank compared to Zeke, but he'll have to split carries with Hall with the lower O line, and I feel like the Jets are going to pass it more so than the Patriots. So who knows?
Man, I tell you what. Okay, I like that. You almost had me on Zeke, but I'm going with Dalvin. I'm gonna tell you why. Just because I think the Jets have the better chance of a bigger chance of going further in the playoffs, maybe Super Bowl host. Not only the better quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, but now you have the better weapons. And I think that if Rodgers and those weapons with that O-line, if that O-line can block for Rodgers, we heard about him talking about how he was frustrated about the O-line, and we'll find out on Hard Knocks probably tomorrow. I think if you guys have HBO Max, Hard Knocks comes on Wednesdays, I believe, or is it Tuesdays?
We don't have HBO Max over here, but we can subscribe to something called Game Pass, and that has it on there. So,
oh, cool. All right. Yeah. So if Hard Knocks is on, I think it's on Tuesdays. I can't remember. If it is on Tuesdays today, if not, it's tomorrow. But we'll know about how frustrated he is about the O-line. So that being said, if that O-line is a problem, maybe Dalvin Cook not only as a running back but a receiver as well.
Yeah.
And younger, faster, not stronger, but still younger and faster. Just a better player than Zeke, because Zeke is only limited. We saw, Zeke is going to play the same position he played last year, but this time it's Tony Pollard. Now, this time it's going to be Rashonda Stevens. As far as last year was Tony Pollard, who from the 20 and 20, and then Zeke in the goal line, pretty much. Yeah. So I'm going to go with Dalvin Cook. I think more of an impact player because of his ability to make bigger plays. And he's a really good running back. I would say, I don't know, top 5, top 10 for sure for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to the Jets. And if they get the O-line fine, I think the O-line is fine. Aaron Rodgers is a diva quarterback. Yeah. And, everything he said, the media will take it and run with it. So I don't think the O-line is that bad. Like the media wants you to think it is. Just Aaron Rodgers talking about how he just felt about that particular practice or whatever it was. I think Dalvin Cook is going to have I'm not going to say a monster year because he is dealing with that shoulder injury. They said he'll be back. He'll practice about a week before the season starts.
Oh, wow.
But he's a running back, though. So running backs, it's not too much information needed for a running back.
No, I get it. But if you want to build that chemistry up, you need a bit more time.
Yeah. I can guarantee you he's going to be the starting running back week 1 because Breece Hall might be actually ready by like week 4 of the NFL season. He might be ready like week 4. When I say ready, as in like can give you his all 100% by week 4. He's probably going to get some playing time maybe week 1, maybe week 2. But then week 3 and 4, he'll be back 100% healthy. And then that's when they won't even split. I think it'll be Cook. I'll say 65-35 Cook.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going, Dalvin Cook is that dude. If he is healthy and ready to rock and roll, I think just the explosion plays, is what the Jets need, because you're still counting on young guys, as in Garrett Wilson. He's only in year number 2, but you're counting on him to be this mega star wide receiver just because you have Aaron Rodgers on your squad. I think Dalvin Cook takes a lot of pressure off of those young guys, those check downs, those big runs, stuff like that. So as far as Zeke, you're right, though. I can see Zeke with at least double-digit touchdowns.
Yeah.
I can see that 10 touchdowns for sure. Yardage, though, I don't think Zeke getting over 450.
Nah, nothing at all. You turned me around on Cook because Hall is a young player. He's still on his rookie. I think last year was his rookie year, wasn't it? Yeah, so if you're going for a Super Bowl and your main RB1's coming off an ACL, at least you've got Cook to allow him to fully recover, no pressure, get fully right, whilst we have this all-pro running back to fully lean on.
Yeah.
And then next year, if you're 100%, we don't need Cook. Like, you're still cheap. You can still use you for next year. So they could literally just have this whole year of letting Hall get back on his feet.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think when it's all said and done, there'll be a nice duo for sure.
Mm.
I'm very intrigued on watching this Jets team. They are the talk around town. Um, as far as the impact, like the Patriots offense just stinks, y'all. Matter of fact, it was funny because it was an anonymous beat writer from New England, but he said, they said, how do you feel about the Patriots wide receivers? His exact quote was, stink, stank, stunk. I was like, whoa. But
Yeah,
it's true, their weapons are limited. And then you
yeah,
had Zeke. I'm like, I don't know if Zeke makes that big of an impact. I do like him, like you said, short yardage, third and ones, second and ones, whatever, fourth and
yeah.
ones, goal line. I can see him being there, but he I think his longest run last year was like 21 yards.
Oh my goodness,
That was his
yeah,
long.
no,
That's the Zeke. He is slow.
yeah.
He's slow. I mean, obviously this is coming from guys who are much slower than him, but still, but NFL caliber running back, he is slow. There was he had film of him training for the season, going through drills, and I was like, "Oh my God, why did they post that? He looks so slow. Like, why did they post that?" And I was
Yeah.
kind of embarrassed for him. I was like, "Yo,
Oh,
he looks bad," you
poor
know. So,
boy.
hey, Patriots, Jets, Bills, that AFC East, I think. Call me crazy. It's gonna be crowded. I do
Yeah.
like it. I think somewhere, somehow, at one point of the season, it could be for a small bit or a long bit. At one point, each team is going to have their hot moment. All
Yeah.
three of those teams will have their hot moment, but obviously, only one can win the division. So we
No,
got
of course,
a lot
yeah.
of football to play about that. So yeah,
Nice.
you're going with Zeke. I'm going with a Cook. Well, Dalvin
There.
Cook, for our impact, we'll find out, man. It's gonna be crazy. Hey, but shout out to the running backs though, man, getting picked up,
Finally getting
getting
somebody
some
like
love. I mean,
Cook is a great running back. It is
yeah,
madness. It took him to essentially preseason week 2 to get on the team.
$8.6 million is not bad for a
No,
1 year deal. Especially if you can get it
no,
all, incentives and all that, the guaranteed money. Yeah, if you can get it all, 8.6 million is not bad at all.
no.
For a
But
guy in a bad running back era right now that we're in.
yeah, but going back to last week's problem, the moment like Zeke got his money, someone posted like an image of Zeke with the money he got, and then all of our running backs, which are cheaper. So we're getting what is it, 3 running backs for the price of 1 Zeke. So it's sort of like, yeah,
That's facts. That's facts. That is
yeah.
totally facts. That you're right about that. That's totally facts, man. All right, y'all. Hey, we're gonna stick with that same Cowboys talk, y'all. Look, we know about the NFC, right? It is the sister conference, the baby boy conference of the NFL. But there are two teams that's always in the mix. We have your defending NFC champions. You know it all too well, TJ. The
Yeah,
Philadelphia Eagles. But hey, how about them Cowboys every year, no matter how bad they finish, no matter how good they finish, and it usually ends up bad for those guys. But
yeah.
no matter what, there's always talk around town. And if you talk to not just Cowboys fans, but just fans around, they say this might be the best Dallas Cowboys team they've had in a long
Oh,
time. And the feeling, I don't know. But my question for you, man, and I'm gonna answer as well. Uh, can the Cowboys dethrone the Eagles in the NFC East for this year?
well, I have no bias, as you can perfectly see. I'm perfectly neutral on this matter. Um, and the answer, I think, is no. I think this is going to be the first time we're going to have a repeat East championship. First time in like 22 years. No, 20 years. The last one was 04. So maybe 20 years.
That's a crazy stat, man.
Yeah, and it was the Eagles. It was
Yeah,
McNabb going back to back.
McDabbing them, yep.
Yeah, but the sentence you said, this is the best Cowboys team we've seen in a long time.
Hey, don't shoot the messenger. I'm not saying that.
I swear on my dog's life, everything. I have heard that phrase at least 3 times in a row every year. And it's like, yes, I openly admit I think they have gotten better. Like they've added Gilmore, they've added Cooks. Like that is an improvement. I feel like, but I just don't trust your coach, and I don't trust Prescott anymore. I reckon Prescott will win a game of the Eagles because he does go mental when he's against the Eagles. But they are going to be good. Like I reckon they are going to win win over 500. They're going to go over 500, but I just don't see them being able to tackle the Eagles. I reckon they'll win one game. We'll split, I reckon, but I think the Eagles are going to just win couple more games. It's going to be a situation there. They're going to lose 2 more games than the Eagles, and I just don't trust McCarthy in the playoffs. And
that's facts. I'm on that same. Yeah. I'm on that same bandwagon with you when it comes down to McCarthy.
Yeah, and what was it? Dak Prescott said he's going to throw less than 10 interceptions, and he's up to 4 already in practice. So
it's more than practice. It's more than 4. It's only 4 they've shown you. It's way more than 4.
I'm pretty sure. But I know it's practice. You can't really have that. And right. I know Dak's gone through a lot. And, yeah, he was sort of taken advantage of by the Cowboys, like 4th-round pick. Oh, we're not going to pay you, blah, blah, blah. But I don't trust McCarthy and Dak. His decision-making has been proven to be a bit temperamental, and they've lost Schultz. Schultz was Dak's safety blanket, and he's gone. They drafted a tight end, but you got to build that chemistry, and you don't know if that tight end's any good. I'm surprised they really didn't keep Schultz. That's a shocker.
It was funny. Schultz signed with the Texans for not that much more money.
No, I know. It's absolutely mental, and you got that bit of I know he finally got paid as Eric Martin getting paid, but Jerry clearly isn't happy about it. With Jerry's first comment saying, well, he's already got money, so why does he want more? It's just like, well, he's up there as one of the best tackles and he won't get paid like it. I understand his career is short, he needs to get the money, but obviously they're also in the situation. If they don't make it this year, the next couple of years are gonna be hard because they've finally paid Diggs, but they need to get CD.
CD, yeah.
Dak's gonna need an extension. You've got all these other core membership. Michael Parsons going to get all of the money.
Right about that. I forgot about Parsons that fast.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah. He actually was saw limping out of practice today in a boot. So yeah, hopefully nothing serious there because obviously you don't want an injury. But obviously Pollard is going to be their main RB1. It looks like, but he's coming off an ACL in the playoffs, so he's going to be a while. And they've got this new kid, Vaughn, the 5'5" running back, who seems to be making people fall over each other. But
yeah, he is.
That was quite fun. It was the defenders running at each other. He slips through. They smash into each other.
He's so small you can't see him, man. He's you can't see him. The O-line, every O-line is like 6'1", 6'5", 6'6", and he's this 5'5" Mighty Mouse around there. Darren Sproles. They come from the same college, Kansas State. So I think he's a Darren. I wanted him badly for the New Orleans Saints, I was surprised he went down. So was it a 6th-round pick or a 7th-round pick? I was surprised he went that low, and I was like, what? I wanted New Orleans to get him. I wanted him bad, but obviously, the Cowboys got him, and they got a nice one right there. I think, we'll see about Vaughn. As far as the Cowboys to dethrone the Eagles in this year, I'm good. I'm good on that. I agree with you. I think this Eagles team in a very poor NFC is going to reap those benefits of playing in a poor NFC. And I can see them easily win this division. I see the Cowboys making it close, though. Trust me. The Cowboys at one point, they will be, I'm going to say after week 11 or week 12, they'll probably still be neck and neck, maybe a game or 2 games apart, whatever. I can see them battling, but towards the end, though, I really believe that the Eagles are just a better team than the Cowboys. And I've seen the Eagles go to the Super Bowl. We haven't seen the Cowboys go to the NFC Championship game in 26, 27 years. So,
Literally, not in my lifetime.
right, for real. So what I'm thinking here, what I'm thinking is like this Eagles team, first of all, on paper, amazing.
Yeah.
As far even last year, you thought that AJ Brown, could he not make a difference? He made a huge difference for
Mm.
Jalen Hurts' ability to be an MVP status quarterback, right? And now you take that same talent, and they gotten better with the draft. The kid from Georgia they got, who looked
Oh yeah.
amazing in his
Oh, so good.
debut, Davis. So I mean, I'm like, okay, this Eagles team on paper looks amazing again, and we seen them on paper last year already look good. And I'm like, their schedule did get super harder
No,
after winning the
yeah.
NFC. So I mean, the Cowboys are going to have some scratching and clawing to do. Uh, but as of right now, no, the Cowboys are not better than the Eagles. The Eagles, this is their division to lose, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, it's a rare occurrence where you lose the Super Bowl, but somehow you get better the next year. Yes, we
Right,
lost Hargrave. Yes, we lost TJ Edwards. Yes, we lost CJ Gardner Johnson, who I really wanted to keep. But we found talent like. Have you heard about the Reed Blankenship story in the Eagles?
no,
He was last year. He was an undrafted free agent. We signed him for the least amount of money. Like, he's literally getting paid for nothing. And when CJ got hurt, he came in, first snap, picked off Aaron Rodgers. Second snap, almost picked off Aaron Rodgers. And he's already won the starting position of the team.
wow,
And he's just like, I am
wow.
here, I am staying, I hit hard. And like, that's a great story. And I really hope he does well. And he will do well, because he said, I'm going to seize every moment I can. And he got 3 interceptions today off Deshaun Watson. And
Dang.
yeah, and Jalen Carter got a sack and a fumble recovery today. Like, this is the joint practices that the
Yep.
coaches watch, and
Right.
yeah, this is what matters. And it's crazy to think our defense might have gotten better even though we lost Hargrave, CJ, who was
Right.
like interception leader and stuff like that.
And the question was, can the Cowboy dethrone the Eagles? We're just comparing those two. Look, the
Yeah,
Cowboys are still a top 4 or 5 team in the NFC, right?
easy.
Easy. And the Cowboys, in my opinion, are going to make the playoffs. They have the talent. They're going to make the playoffs. It's all about how far they go in the playoffs. Because we've seen them in the playoffs plenty of times already. We're not worried about that. It's what they can do in the playoffs, barring injury, obviously, getting into the playoffs. But they have a top 4 or 5 talent. The Cowboys are going to, in my opinion, go to the playoffs. It's about
Yeah,
what can they do. But comparing them to the Eagles, the Eagles right now, in my opinion, still head and shoulders better
yeah.
than the Cowboys, and the Eagles should, like you said, win the division back to back for the first time since '04 with the Eagles as well. So that's
Fingers
crazy.
crossed.
Fingers
Fingers
crossed,
crossed.
man. Fingers crossed. We had a phenomenal week 1, TJ. But I want you to give me. It's early, but let's start off with the bad first, right? What was?
Bad.
Yeah, I like bad news first, and then give me good news last. I'm that kind of guy, you know. Yeah, are you that kind of guy, TJ?
I just sort of roll with what comes. Normally, it's a lot of bad news. You just go, okay, let's just deal with that. Let's win.
I'm like, hey, because they say, hey, what you want, the good news or the bad news first? Give me the bad news first,
Yeah, fair,
And,
fair,
but
fair.
it's in my lifetime, the good news is not that much better than the bad news. So I'm like, what
Yeah, it's like good news. You kept your arm. Awesome. Bad news. You lost a hand. Awesome.
Oh, what the? I guess, man. God dog it. But no. So yeah. So
The
I want to go
bad.
with the best and worst performance of week 1. It could be a player. It could be a team. It doesn't matter. It could be a unit. Let me know. What was your? We'll start the worst. What was your worst performance of week 1 of preseason?
Denver Broncos.
Oh,
Straight away. I think Denver Broncos' O-line is something major wrong. I think him and Russell Wilson, Jarrett Stidham was the most hit-sacked QBs of the entire season, preseason. And it just didn't look good. It's like their kicker was missing because they got rid of McManus, and it just seemed like a mess. And like I said, preseason, no point overreacting. They got Sean Payton, but they paid a lot of money to start for some O linemen, and they need to start showing up
Mm.
because you can't. Well, if Russell Wilson has no time in the pocket, he can't do nothing. Like, but yeah, that was utterly disappointing, especially since clearly with Russ playing, they wanted to show that hey, we are actually capable now. Like it wasn't Russell, it was Hackett, and then they put out that performance, and it wasn't the best, unfortunately.
Right.
And yeah, Russell only played a bit, but even when Stidham came in, the O line was no better, and they couldn't do nothing. So that's I think that's up there.
Yeah,
And
that's a good one because I watched that game, the some of it, and boy, like, and Russell Wilson was out there for a while. If you guys don't
yeah,
know, he was out there about, I think it was 3 or 4 possessions because usually if you have a great first possession, you're not going back out there.
no, no,
He never had that great possession, till late. I think his fourth possession we finally scored a touchdown. I forgot to who. I want to say it was to Jerry Judy, I think. Um, but it took about 3 or 4 possessions, and we're talking about the Arizona Cardinals, and
yeah,
not their. It was like a half first string, half second string kind of contest because let's be honest, they're the worst team in the NFL to our eyes, and they have some defense talent, but they're not, there's no Buda Baker, who was their best player on defense. He was on the sideline, and
no,
Russell really struggled. Not him, but the O line, the blocking,
yeah,
struggled. And it felt like last year these guys scored about their average, 17
mhm,
points.
yeah,
They
yeah,
scored 17 points. I think they averaged like 15 points a game last year. So yay, 2 more points. I
yeah.
I would. I like what you went. As far as me, I'm going with Trey Lance.
Oh,
Uh,
makes sense. He was my second one.
I'm going with Trey Lance, and the whole entire story of Trey Lance. I'm starting to feel bad for this kid now, and I usually don't feel bad not this early for a single player of his talent and his age, but obviously the first year he sits out because of Jimmy Garoppolo's a starter. You want to learn from him and you want to get the reins for next season. Well, then you have the whole Jimmy will get traded thingy happening. Uh, no, not traded. He's number two. Jimmy's
Yeah,
number two. Although he took your team to the playoffs and yada yada yada, he's number two. Trey Lance is number one. Trey Lance gets hurt. Start of the year. Garoppolo's back, looks good. He gets hurt. So you're like, that's fine. Garoppolo's hurt. I'll just get. No, here comes Brock Purdy. He just casually goes undefeated in the regular season.
yeah,
7-0, right? Won the first playoff game, and if he didn't get hurt against the Eagles, might have at least made
might
it a better
have.
game. Not
Yeah,
win it,
yeah.
but made it a
I know
better
what you
game,
mean.
right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Hey, we
uh,
faced them week 8, so who knows?
oh,
We'll get
yeah.
a rematch. So that'll be
And
one of the watch
so
games.
Brock Purdy hurts himself. He's got the old tennis injury, the not the baseball injury, right? The Tommy John surgery.
Was it meniscus?
The
Or
some
am I?
is it his arm? It was an arm
Yeah,
thing. It was like a Tommy
with the
John kind
football.
of surgery. With pitchers have it all the time in baseball. They get that surgery. It wasn't like that, but it was close, right? But you get that, and now Trey Lance is like, all right, hey, I got maybe my starting job back. But it's funny because the management has not given this kid the hope.
Oh no.
Like
Yeah.
I get it. Brock Purdy went undefeated. He's 7-0, and he almost could have went undefeated for the playoffs if he didn't get hurt. Who knows what happens because the Eagles game. But still, now Trey Lance is like, I gotta shine. I gotta look at least decent because your 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 management doesn't have any hope. Your ownership doesn't have any hope in you. Your coaches
No.
have no hope in you. And now it looks like the fan base has lost all hope in Trey Lance. They really, really, really cannot wait for Brock Purdy to come out there and get that starting job. But he goes out there, just looked decent, my guy, and he did not,
Yeah,
man.
he
I
did
mean,
not. No.
he looked bad, inaccurate with his throws. He was on his ass half the time, being sacked. And you figure with the speed, right? The
Mm.
speed you had to elude those tacklers, he just didn't show it.
No.
He
Yeah.
didn't show it, and you feel like he might not be just the the number one, the number two, he might be the number three on the depth chart now because Sam Darnold came in there
He,
and looked
yeah,
decent. He
yeah, I know.
looked decent. He looked better than Lance. And if Brock Purdy comes back healthy for week one, if Lance can go out there in week two and look the same as he did week one, he's definitely going to go. I wouldn't be surprised if they start Sam Darnold week three
Wow.
just to see if Darnold can measure the number one. Or even week two, they might alternate, right? Trey Lance and Darnold with the number ones for at least 2 or 3 possessions. Because that showing against the Raiders was horrible. 34 to
Yeah.
7, it was horrible. Trey Lance looked bad, so I think he's my worst performance of week one for the preseason. It did not look good. And I feel bad for the kid because so much stuff has not gone his way, and he's a talent. He's a talent, but then again, he was that guy that came from North Dakota State or North Dakota, right?
It was North Dakota. I know that.
North Dakota,
So
is it North Dakota?
it was North Dakota State because he came from the same college as Carson
Yeah,
Wentz.
Carson Wentz, yes. So the talent level he played wasn't, high, right?
Yeah.
So now everyone's saying, well, now look, we know why he was in that division in the first place. But Carson Wentz was an MVP candidate, so I mean, you
Yeah.
can't say that for everybody. But
See,
it's gonna be tough for Trey Lance to get that respect back. I mean, if the team, if the coaches, management, ownership, and fan base have no confidence in you, where do you get confidence from if it's not within yourself?
yeah, that's game over there. But he's. I do feel sorry for him because he hasn't played. Like his whole rookie year, he sat behind Jimmy, and even then, people are like, why are they not letting him wet his feet in like blowouts and stuff like that? But he didn't play his first year, and then he was injured in the first 6 weeks
Yeah,
of last year.
no, it was earlier than that. It was week two,
Week two.
Week two.
So he's played
or
2
something like that.
NFL games.
Something like
He's
that.
only
Yeah.
played 2 NFL games, and obviously he hasn't looked the best, but he's coming off an injury, so hopefully he does well. But let's just face it, the Niners, they're in a weird situation because they really screwed up drafting Lance. They gave away the farm to move up to draft him, and by I don't know what miracle, they have lucked into the last pick in the draft last year, Mr. Irrelevant, somehow being the guy.
It just happens,
So
man.
they're not getting any flack for messing up their 3rd overall pick and giving away so many picks because they found a gem.
Yeah.
And the fan base immediately forgave them. Media sort of immediately forgave them because they found Brock Purdy. But I don't know. Brock Purdy is great, and I do think he is going to be their starter. I think he's more of a leader than Trey Lance. From what I hear, he has the offense, he has the locker room, he has that sort of connection where you never heard that from Trey Lance, but they've got to give him another go.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Like, they
yeah.
put so much.
He's gonna be the starter
stakes
for
in
week
it.
two. I just hope he has a better performance, man. Cause I'm rooting for the
Hopefully.
kid. I mean,
Yeah.
but man, we'll see. Well, you went with the Denver Broncos entire team. I went I went with Trey Lance. All right, well, we gave our worst now. Let's go with the best performance of week one preseason you've seen so far.
This is going to sound very weird. Leak Cunningham.
No, it's not weird at all.
Patriots.
Yes.
He was out there as a wide receiver for the majority of the game. And he came in and he was just so fun to watch. He was just explosive. He was resilient. It was like watching Hurts out there. And this is going to sound a bit like recency bias, but during the draft, I wanted the Eagles to draft Cunningham simply because he had the last name was Randall Cunningham.
Yes,
that's Eagles,
awesome.
just do it. And it's a bit weird because he plays exactly like Jalen. I'm surprised they didn't go with him, but he was just so fun. He was explosive. He was shocker. And there's a good picture of when he's coming off the field and Bill Belichick is just giving him the big love eyes. It's like, yeah, I found something in you. So yeah.
I give you this. When do you see Malik Cunningham becoming the starter for the Patriots? By week what?
Oh, so here's the thing. I see he's currently 3.
Because he got
Corporal Jones.
yeah.
And then you got Zappy.
Yeah.
who didn't have the best, but he was okay. And then obviously you've got Malik. But the way Bill was looking at Malik Cunningham, he's definitely the third QB. Trace McSorley ain't going to make the team, and it wouldn't surprise me if Jones and if Zappi can't get it done. He doesn't end the season. It wouldn't surprise me if he ends the season if they struggle.
Right.
But yeah, he just came out of nowhere. It's like they've got a wide receiver as QB. I was like, okay, they're interesting, and then he does that, and I'm like, wow, okay.
Right.
Talk about galvanizing the team.
Because watching the highlights, it was dead. It was a dead game. It just looked ugh. And then Cunningham comes in late in that. Was it third quarter or fourth quarter? Fourth quarter, and he looked electric. I mean, obviously against threes and fours, but he looked electric.
Yeah.
He looked like another guy from Louisville, Lamar Jackson, right?
Yeah.
The touchdown he ran, did he like break somebody's ankle?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yes, I was like, ooh, I can see him. Later on. I'll give him week 9.
Week 9.
Week 9 to be the starter over both Jones and what's his name, Zaxby. I forgot his name.
Actually, if they've got no wide receivers, his talent might be what they're looking for.
Right.
Like, no wide receivers open. Well, at least I can bolt it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, who knows? Just simply being able to move successfully might give him the starting job. If Bill Belichick's find another diamond in the rough, that's hacks. I call hacks. It's just ridiculous.
And I see Travis 303 called me out because he already know what I'm going with my best performance, man. That's right, y'all. Who that nation? The New Orleans Saints first team offense. That was my best performance of week 1 preseason. And not just that, but Derek Carr. And a lot goes into that. The comfortability, right, of Derek Carr in this offense. That was the best performance, in my opinion, the New Orleans Saints first team offense. First and a half team, because they had some kind of guys coming in and out for Jameis Winston as well. But I like the fact that Derek Carr, it was Saints starters versus Chiefs starters, and they went in there with the mindset of, we want to score on this drive. They went, 12, 13 plays, touchdown. It made it look easy. I don't think there was a single third down, I believe. If I was right about that, I could be wrong, but I don't think there was a single third down on that drive. But Derek Carr looks like he's been a part of that system for 10 years. I want to remind guys on the touchdown pass. This is what really gave me. Whoa, we got to stop for a second, y'all. We got Markai with a $10 super chat bomb. She says, TJ Tracy, why are you an Eagles fan? Get the story, TJ. Here we go.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Markai. It's all started with alcohol, as it normally does in Britain. My friends were bored. This was, I think, a while ago. I think this is before Super Bowl 50, and we just happened to discover the Super Bowl was on. Create a little drinking game, and we kept coming back to this. Getting a bit sloshed, and I just started to connect with the game more and more. And around 2016, I was like, you know what? I'm going to follow this sport personally. So I wanted a new team with a new coach, with a new QB, like starting fresh. Just happened to choose the Eagles because green is my favorite color, and just fell in love with the team and imprinted. So yeah, team since 2016, and well, next year after that was a pretty good year. So
you damn right, the Super Bowl, right?
Hopefully that answers your question, Marco. Yeah, just a random choice, and it's gone well. Just because I like that color of the jersey.
Yeah, who said bad things happen from alcohol, right? Come on, man.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, basically he said, hey, he was drinking, and 2016 was his first year, right, of really looking at the NFL. And then basically he said he wanted a new team with a new quarterback, which is awesome. That means you're not a bandwagon fan.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of those, like, who's winning right now? In 16, I'll just jump on that team. You're like, no, I want someone with a fresh start, a fresh quarterback, and you got it, man. So, that's awesome, man.
No, I've got a couple of friends who are a Patriots quarterback fan, because obviously Patriots won, and then The year before that, I have a friend who's a Seahawks fan because obviously the Seahawks won then, and it's just like, didn't really connect to the team. I did like Marshawn Lynch. I did like hearing about like Beast Mode and the
Oh
Beast
yeah.
Quake and stuff like that. But yeah,
I'm just here so I don't get fined, man.
yeah, precisely. But yeah, the Eagles, just hearing about their connection and just how they're not liked.
So funny, but yeah. So that's his story, y'all. My best performance are New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
This isn't even me being biased. You would think so because I'm a diehard Saints fan, but just looking in, the NFC is up for the taking. Outside of the Eagles and the 49ers, like anybody else can get that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spot, and I think why not the Saints, right? In that easy division, there's no more Tom Brady to dominate the division for 1 year, right? But still, and I felt like they had to have that chemistry and look good on offense. Look, our defense has been phenomenal over the last 6, 7 years. It's about the offense over the last 2 years, 2 or 3 years since Drew Brees retired. Pretty much, our offense has just been in shenanigans. It's horrible. And to see Derek Carr come out there, the touchdown pass he threw, and this what really made me feel good. It was only a 4-yard touchdown pass, but how he did it, he threw to his third option.
That's good.
And
Yeah.
that let me know he knows the playbook. He knows where guys are supposed to be at. He looked left, he looked middle, went back left, then went right through it, and kicked
Yeah.
Kirkwood in the end zone. I was like, okay, that because it wasn't a bomb, just like a one-play bomb. It was a 4 yard in the goal line. Step back, look at your progressions, find it not open. Okay, not open. Open. Got him.
Yeah.
And I
Oh, yeah.
really enjoy that aspect of seeing Derek Carr there. And I think he has a great underdog story as well of how he was kind of, you know, shoot away from Las Vegas, and now he's in New Orleans. He's embraced the city, embraced the fan base, and I think that drive that really let people know. Because let's be honest, Derek Carr against with New Orleans against Pat Mahomes, Kansas City. That's why they're only one of two teams to actually play on Sunday. So it felt like the NFL kind of hyped up that game a little bit. You knew that Pat Mahomes was playing,
Yeah.
you knew that Derek Carr was playing, so the NFL hyped that game up, and you know it wound up being an overall decent game. But as far as starters, the Saints starters looked damn good, albeit maybe 2 or 3 drives. Took a 17-0 lead, but I love what I saw from New Orleans Saints, and I think that if not them, I mean, who wants the NFC, right? As
Yeah.
far
Well,
as
especially the South.
yeah, especially the South, right? So why not the Saints? I mean, obviously, I say if we don't win the division, get rid of the whole team. Get rid of the whole team. If we can't win it this year, then what the hell we doing then? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's my best performance, man.
Fair.
I'm going with New Orleans Saints. Number
No,
one
it may-
offense says Travis 303,
yeah.
and you're going Cunningham. That's awesome. I like
Yeah,
that one
no,
too.
it makes sense because they were the best team together, and it looked like Carl already has that bit of connection with Michael Thomas. So yeah, hopefully. Do you see Michael Thomas making the team?
Michael Thomas,
Yeah,
the wide receiver for the for Patriots,
Saints. Yeah,
for the
no,
Saints.
for the Saints.
Yes, what you mean? Yeah, hell yeah. He was on the first team. He caught a 16-yard pass. I'm just saying. It felt good. It felt good. It felt like, this felt like Drew Brees back there. Because I'm saying it because there is another Mike Thomas in the NFL. I thought you just randomly saying the other Mike Thomas. Is he gonna make that?
No,
I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, no, Mike Thomas and the Saints.
No,
obviously he
our
has got
Mike
that
Thomas.
connection with
He's
Carl.
he's on the team. There's no way he's missing the team. He's the best receiver that we have. Even with Olave being that guy, Rashid Shaheed coming in as being that guy, the best player when healthy is Mike Thomas. He's the best player on our offense when healthy. But yeah, he's on the team already. He's not. There's no maybe or no. He's 100%, 125% on the team. Yeah, he's gonna be there. Trust me. So those are our best and worst performances of week 1. We'll have the same for week 2 next week. We'll talk about that. I want to get a little bit more in the Trey Lance conversation, man, because that was part of the topic, and we kind of did talk about it a little bit. But will the 49ers ever truly, fully trust Trey Lance? I mean, do you think is there a happy ending to the Trey Lance story?
If they get a first round pick for him, yeah.
so so no happy ending with the Niners and Trey Lance.
I
'Cause
don't see it.
yeah, I'm with you on that. We discussed it already. This was one of the topics, but I don't see it. I think that Trey Lance, he's gonna be trade not this year, but trade bait next year probably while he's on his last
Definitely.
year of his rookie deal. I think he'll be a trade bait. Maybe even this year, who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
For maybe a desperate team looking for a young quarterback. Um, maybe the
Yeah.
freaking Raiders. I don't know.
Raiders, maybe the Buccaneers.
Yes, yeah, the Buccaneers might want him.
Um,
Who
but
knows?
yeah, it's just he's just not had that. I think the system, this 49er system is it doesn't rely on the QB. It relies on the team making the QB look well. And
Yes.
we saw it work with Jimmy G. We saw it work with Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. And yet it isn't working with Trey Lance. Like you said, he's only had 2 games, so you can't really go, oh, he's terrible. He's had
Right.
2 games and he hasn't played a lot. But
I
those 2
think
games weren't the best.
he's got a lot going against him. Like
Yeah, he
like
has.
even the GM, like John Lynch, didn't make it any better.
No.
Of giving him confidence. He was like, yeah, Brock Purdy's healthy. Yeah, he's gonna be our
Yeah.
starter. Like, whoa.
Precisely, yeah, that's not what you want to hear.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Like, you supposed to say, well, we'll give both guys a fair shot, and whoever wins it wins it. Albeit you might have it in your mind, Brock Purdy's that guy, but you don't want Trey Lance because you might have to trust in Trey Lance. You never know, and he's going there with no freaking confidence. I mean, yeah. Good luck.
That's not what you want.
Yeah.
Not what you want at all. But I think it is. I think that relationship is just sort of.
Yeah, it is bad. You guys, hey, now bring in your questions, y'all. Any questions that you guys want for this episode number 2, let us know. Now is the time. Ask any NFL question. We're going to answer you guys. So let us know in the chat right now. So it is questioning time. Let us rock and roll. Time to wrap it up. So give us your questions, you guys.
I've got a question for you, and
Oh.
even for the chat. This year, Andrew Luck becomes eligible for the Hall of Fame. He had a short career, but what he had was really good. Is he a Hall of Famer?
No.
No.
It's not a Hall of Famer.
No.
Nah, even with the short career, and he did some good things in it, won a few playoff games. No, because there are a lot guys who have done. I'm not gonna say equal value, but done a lot more, and done a lot in a longer period. Not a lot more,
Yeah.
but maybe a lot, and they're still not in the Hall of Fame.
Fair,
I wouldn't
fair.
give it just because he's a quarterback. If
Got
he
ya.
was if he was a running back, that'd be an obvious no. If he was a whatever any other position, it'd be an obvious no. But since he's a quarterback, I'm gonna say he didn't. I don't think did he go to at least an AFC Championship game? Did he go to one? I think he was in one against.
I can't remember.
Was it one against the Chiefs maybe?
Possibly.
Or the Patriots maybe.
Bear with me for 2 seconds.
Yeah,
whilst we
yeah.
research
But-
this.
Even then, even in that game, it had to be. I think it was an AFC Championship game. Colts and Patriots, maybe. I could be wrong, but whatever game it was, they got blown out, right? But I'm gonna give you an easy no. It's not even a hard no for me.
Yeah, just straight up no.
Yeah,
Which is fair. Like I was just wondering because people are saying, "Oh yeah, he did this. He was nice, and he's obviously got the name recognition and he's got the story to it." And people are calling it, but I'm just like, I don't think so. Because people were shocked that, well, not shocked, but Calvin Johnson getting into the Hall of Fame were still shocked some people.
But for his position, and he played like 9 years in the league or 8 years in the league, so he had a nice body of work, and he was pure dominant in those 8 or 9 years, right? I mean, dominant. I'm like Jim Brown, the Cleveland Browns back in the day. Jim Brown only had an 8-year career with Cleveland, but he was so dominant that he was the best running back then, and he's one of those rare guys. I think no matter what decade he was in, he would have dominated. Right?
No, okay,
same thing as Megatron. Megatron was just different, man. Like and Andrew Luck was nice too, and he had great moments, but 5 years maybe it was altogether 5 years career, and I think that's just too little for me. Although he did some great things in that 5 years, but
Oh yeah.
Nothing we hadn't seen different from the quarterback position. Where Megatron was like, "Yo, that
No, I get
dude
you.
is."
And he played on the Lions,
And
Megatron, so that
yeah,
they're
yeah,
better against
yeah.
him.
And he played on the Lions, so give him some credit now. Give him some credit. But hey, I think they made 2 playoff appearances with Megatron and Stafford.
Really? Oh
Yeah, one
wow.
was
Oh yes,
they
yes, they
lost to the
did.
Saints.
Yes.
They lost to us in 2011
Yeah.
in the playoffs. 2011 they lost to the Saints, and I think, ooh, was it 14 or 15 they went to the playoffs? I
I know.
forgot.
Yeah, I think they lost because it was the last year Jim Schwartz was their coach, and then they all went downhill, didn't they? So
Yeah, so it was bad. Was Andrew Luck against the Patriots? Oh, the Flake
that was the
game.
Flake
Yeah, the
game.
Flake
The
game,
Flake
and
game.
and they got their asses kicked though. You
Wow, was that
know,
because of luck or was it because of the
yeah.
rules?
No, it was blown. It was just a team. They just sucked at the team. They weren't going to beat the Patriots that year at all. Um, Insane news says who's the best receiver in the NFL right now? Who you got, TJ?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with Justin Jefferson.
Ooh, hey,
It's gotta be Justin Jefferson. Just simply because, yeah, what he's been doing.
right. And yeah, I mean breaking records left and freaking
Yeah,
right, man. Breaking left records left and right. Every time he plays, it's like he's getting over 100 yards. Yeah, he's doing his thing, man. I'm gonna
yeah.
say Devontae Adams. I think Devontae Adams is
Oh, makes
still.
sense.
I'm gonna say he's still the best in the NFL. The only difference now for Adams is uh, the quarterback for the Raiders, Jimmy Garoppolo. Can he be that quarterback to give Adams the football? I don't know. You know,
I don't think
Garoppolo
so.
has never shown to be that kind of quarterback. He relies on play action. There's no Josh Jacobs right now.
No,
For
it's
the
not.
Raiders, can Garoppolo give Adams the ball? So that might change folks' heads just because of the lack of touches this year that Hawkins might get. But as a pure wide receiver standpoint, I'm gonna go with Hawkins. I mean not Hawkins. Adams. Sorry. But
Yeah,
but but I'm not going to fault you saying Jefferson because Jefferson he's next.
he's up there.
If he ain't there right now, he's next.
Yeah, he's gonna cost a lot of money to keep on the team.
Oh
The
man.
Vikings are gonna pay him a lot of money.
Oh, you got to, and trust me, he's going to oblige them. Yes, he's going
Yeah.
to thank them. He's not going to be a diva and like I want to go somewhere else. No, Jeff's gonna get paid. He's gonna get paid in Minnesota. I promise you, man. Uh, Mark, I asked me when am I going to do the best quarterbacks? I plan on doing that in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I'll do it the week before the NFL season starts. Maybe even a couple days before the NFL season starts. It starts, so it might be like early September when I will do the best quarterbacks. I have that our top 32 quarterbacks. I'm definitely going to do that. I'm excited for it as well because
Mhm.
it's gonna be like it's not gonna be so much different from last year, but there's gonna be some big
Wow.
changes though. You
You
know.
had Hurts at 20, so
Oh,
hopefully there's a big
he definitely went up.
difference.
Guys like him went up, and there's some guys that went down. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah,
And
true.
I cannot wait to talk about that and get everyone's reactions about that. So yeah. Hold on, I got another question from Yibo Pa. Says, TJ, what are you most excited about this year apart from your own teams?
Lions. I just want the Lions to be good. They're going to be the story I'm going to follow next after obviously the Eagles. I just want them to do well. I love underdogs, and the Lions are the underdogs. And I love their coach. I love the aspect of the team. Teddy Bridgewater's, even though he's not the starter, wearing number 50. I've never heard a QB wear number 50 before. So
Whoa, I didn't know that. Number 50?
yeah,
The big 5
50.
0?
Yes,
As a
yes, he's
quarterback.
wearing them. Yep,
I
yep.
gotta know why now. I gotta look that up now.
I don't know either, but I saw it and it's like on the Lions webpage and everything. So it just
Wow.
seems this team has just got so many stories around it that they can go as far as the NFC Championship. That's as far as I want them to go, because obviously the Eagles need to go further.
Oh, yeah, I got you. I got you. All
Yeah,
right, you going to
so
Lions. Travis asks, said this may be for a future topic, but I would like to hear before the season starts who you both think will be this year's surprise team, the team that comes out of nowhere to make the playoffs. Is that still the Lions for you, TJ?
I don't. The thing is it a surprise team?
Right.
That's the
Okay.
thing. Yeah, it's
So, all
just
right.
like
So,
everyone's
so
expecting.
if the Lions aren't a surprise to you, then who is your surprise team?
Um, that's a good question. I'm gonna go with the Falcons.
Ooh. Okay.
The Falcons. I think they are in a weaker South.
Hmm.
Like they are in a weaker South, and obviously they've got Bijan, um, they've got Pitts, their second year head coach, and it's not really it's Dotson. Is their
I,
QB second year QB? And I know he crashed
Ritter.
a bit. Is it Ritter?
Ritter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Ritter. It was
Yeah.
Ritter. Sorry, I was thinking of the Commanders one. Yeah, Ritter, second year, same system. He started to get a bit better, and I was just looking at the stats for last season for a certain team for upcoming stream, and you were all on top of each other. The whole South were like 7-8, 7-8. So
Right.
they've already got that. They've literally all got that foundation.
Uh-huh.
So who knows? Like it's going to be interesting, but I do think the Falcons are going to get as a wild card. I don't think they're going to win the division. They could win the division actually. So but yeah, Falcons.
Yep, they could, but they're not. uh, I'm going with y'all know what I'm going with the Cleveland Browns. I think
Oh
the
yeah,
Cleveland Browns are going to surprise a lot of teams. Deshaun Watson, first full season with all the reps from training camp. You know all that. They added some weapons. They got Elijah Moore from the Jets as well. Uh, and Amari Cooper is still there.
yeah.
Nick Chubb might be the best running back in the game. I feel like their defense is a top 10 defense. And I like that team. I think they're going to turn some heads. And I think they'll do just enough to squeak in the playoffs, you guys. Um,
Okay.
I mean, they have everything you need. Well balanced attack. It's gonna be about Deshaun Watson. Can he be the Deshaun Watson of old, the Houston Texans Deshaun Watson? If he's that same guy, which he was a look, his last year in Houston, he was a top 5 quarterback.
He was good.
Let's not forget that Deshaun Watson was the guy, right? But
Yeah.
of course, he got in trouble, in our offseason. And yeah, so
Yeah.
we tend to forget how good Deshaun Watson was in Houston. So I'm gonna go with the Browns, being that team. As insane news, it said the Browns. Yeah, yes, sir. So I'm going with Cleveland, man. And you know what? I like that Atlanta pick, though. You're right. That could be a team to sneak
That
in
could be.
to
Yeah.
the playoffs and maybe even win the division. You're right about that. As much as I would love to hate on that, I got to respect it, man. I got to respect it. Keep bringing those questions out. Let me see if I can find one from earlier. Who
I
was
know
that? Oh, go ahead.
someone was asking if I had an Instagram. I do, but it's very inactive.
Oh, that was
It's
from
like, oh,
Samuel. Yeah,
yeah,
that was from
Samuel. That's it,
Samuel.
Samuel. I wasn't ignoring it. Well, I was going to come back to it. I do have an Instagram. It's got pictures from 2016 or 18. I think the last one was the 2018 World Cup.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. All right. Got some Packers fans in here right now. They want to know about the Packers, state of the Packers. Where do you see Green Bay going? Just give like your
Green
thoughts.
Bay going. I
Yeah.
see them being middle of the road. I reckon Jordan Love shows that he's got flashes, he's got like talent there, and obviously he hasn't played a lot, so I reckon he will make some rookie mistakes. But I reckon they're overall going to be a solid team. That's what they've got next year for. But this is their year to test out their coach. Like, was it Aaron Rodgers helping LaFleur, or was it LaFleur helping Rodgers, or was it a symbiotic relationship? So it's going to be interesting. And they've got young wide receivers. It's just a growing team. So I reckon they've got going to have a bit of hope at the end of the year.
All right. If you guys got any more questions, come on down the chat. Y'all let us know before we wrap things up. Hey, as always, we're going to go with our hot take of the week. We're going with a hot take right here. Are you ready for yours, TJ, or you want me to do mine first?
I've got mine.
You got
I've
yours?
got mine. This literally been thinking about this all week.
All right. Now, hot takes, y'all, I mean, it doesn't matter the degree of how hot it is. It's just something that's kind of like, oh, damn, okay. Something to make you say that. So I want to let folks know, because if we're going to do a hot take every single week, there's going to be something that's really, really hot.
It's going to be ridiculous.
And then there's something going to be like, okay, all right, you crazy on that one. But We'll see.
I
Go ahead.
I think this year we're going to have a 2,000-yard receiver and two 1,000 rushing quarterbacks.
Ooh.
I reckon it's going to be Lamar and Fields. I'm going to both rush for 1,000 yards this year, and even maybe potentially three if Hurts. Like if things go bad, Hurts can rush for 1,000. So it was at 700 last year.
Right. So we got two 1,000-yard rushing quarterbacks, and
Yeah,
then
and
one. And I reckon it's Justin Jefferson as your
it's going to
2,000.
be Jefferson.
Yeah, it's gotta be Jefferson.
That, or it could be the cheetah if Tua stays healthy.
Good luck with that, brother. My man had to get some martial arts training so he can learn how to fall properly. That's a true story. Like he went to learn how to fall, so he took some MMA classes to learn how to fall properly on his head. I don't get it, but hey, whatever floats your boat, man.
Don't go head first into the ground.
Oh my goodness! Hey, I like the hot take. I'm gonna go with mine's. Mine's isn't as hot as yours because 1,000-yard rushing quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Man, because I can agree. I can't see it, man. I think Lamar. Look, I'm not even trying to bring your topic down. I think Lamar is really trying to prove this year he wants to throw the football.
Fair.
And I think Fields, same thing, because Fields keeps being adamant. I'm going to be the first Chicago Bear quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards. He said like 5 times this year. So I don't know. It could still happen, though. Look, like Markai said, Fields will be running for his life. So it can still happen. If it does, that's a good one. I like that. I like the hot take. I'm going to go with a lesser degree hot take. The rookie of the year in offense will not be a quarterback. It will not be a quarterback.
I take it wide receiver or running back?
I'm going to probably say a running back.
So
I'm going to get, I don't know who yet, but I'm trying to think who's going to have that potential to have a lot of carries. I'm going to go because there wasn't really a receiver that that really stood out this year. Matter of fact, the entire draft was not really good on the offensive side. We had a lot of old linemen, and the old linemen aren't going to win the Rookie of the Year. In this fact, I think there's going to be a running back. And I'm not saying Deuce Vaughn because he's going to be splitting carries with Tony Pollard. I don't know yet. It's going to be someone. It will not be a quarterback. And when I say not a quarterback, it will not be Bryce Young. It will not be C.J. Stroud. It will not be Anthony Richardson for the Colts. It's going to be someone, either running back or receiver. It's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Wow, that's a hot take. Nice to
I'm going
some
with
variety.
It,
man. That'd be good.
Hey, Mark, I says Jalen Reed, maybe. Yabo says Zay Flowers. I can see Zay Flowers having a nice year. I did have him as my impact rookie, so that could be Zay Flowers. So who knows? I have him as my best impact rookie. Our last episode.
What happens if Malik Cunningham comes in at week 8 and wins Rookie of the Year because he just goes off?
Oh my goodness, that'll be
what?
That's good for us though. That means he had a Lamar Jackson type of half a year.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That means my man rushed for almost 700 yards, threw for 1,500 and boom, touchdown. I don't know, and they win. I think that's got to be a winning. For him, coming week 8, it's got to be dubs on top of that, in my opinion.
Well, you look at Brock Purdy. Yeah, he didn't win it, but he came in very close, because
he only played 7 games in the regular season.
7 games.
Wasn't he second in the?
Yeah, it's him,
Rookie of the Year?
Olave, and obviously
Garrett Wilson
who won it.
Garrett Wilson. Yeah. So it was like, that's crazy, But you got to win though. Brock Purdy went 7-0. You got to win, right? If you didn't 5-2, he's not even in it.
Yeah.
So that is crazy, man. So yeah, I like your hot takes though, man. So we'll
have one, yours.
and we'll go back at the end of the year and we'll rewind it all back and see what we got right and what we got wrong, y'all. You know,
Indeed. Yeah, it'd
because
be just be an embarrassment of like, okay, I think that's it.
turning red in the face, man. Just to hide out the camera. Oh no. Travis said there was a lot of hype and controversy around Carter, eventually drafted by the Eagles. Any thoughts on him this season? Ooh.
Oh, that is something because I had this little debate with a friend. It's like um, that he because he had the controversy and all that, he shouldn't be that regarded, but he's gonna do well. Like he's already knocked a all pro on his bum. The first snap, he in a preseason, he almost got QB pressure. He had a fumble recovery today. He had a sack today. He is going to be a monster, and
Yeah.
he's got the right support there with his Georgia dogs, as they call them. They're in a group chat. They're all willing to help each other. So honestly, I think if it was any other team, I think he would spiral. But I think it's just right situation, right support group. I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be scary.
Hey, I agree 100%. The steal of the draft, I don't care no one says. This dude was a top 3. He's a top 3 player. He went with 13 or what he went with 16?
He went 9.
He went 9. He went 9. Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
9.
He went 9.
But still, he's a top 3. He was the best player in the draft. He was the best player in the draft, and he went 9 to the of all freaking teams, the Eagles, man. I'm like, yo, what? Come on, man. How did this team keep doing it? And
you know what's even worse? It was your pick.
I know, and our dumbasses just could not. Oh man, we just. I'm telling y'all, the Eagles have got something on New Orleans. They have something on us to where we keep helping their asses out, man.
Yeah, I think we still have a second round pick this year from your trade. So.
Oh yeah. Marcus, what is Brock Purdy getting paid? Well, I'll tell you what, Brock Purdy, he was the last overall pick in the draft. He made the 53-man roster, and there's obviously incentives. So I'm a guess. I don't know the exact number at all, but if he had all his incentives, wins, starts, that kind of stuff, percentage-wise, he broke all that. I guarantee you that. I'm probably gonna say he made. I'm gonna just guess. You can tell me the answer, but I'm gonna say 300,000.
What, a year or
no for this past season. I don't know what he's getting paid now.
Got you.
I don't know what he's getting paid now.
I don't know. So according to this, he signed a 4-year, $3 million contract.
Okay.
Includes 77,000 signing bonuses. It's completely different from the first round picks. They get millions and millions.
Yeah.
He only got 77,000 guaranteed. His average annual is 934,000, and in 2023 he gets 877.
Ooh, he got a good deal there, boy. If he's your starting quarterback, yeah, you got at least 2 years under that contract before he demands more money. A holdout,
So goodness, not even $1 million a year.
Not even. That's crazy. 900,000 a year. So I was obviously talking about his first year, but obviously the contract he probably signed during the offseason or whatever. I don't know, because he was the third string quarterback at one point.
Yeah.
So I don't think he got that being a third string quarterback. But after going 7-0, yada yada yada, yeah, I'm pretty sure he got paid some of that good old money.
Yeah, he would. But then again, no, he was a draft. He wasn't restricted. He was just a draft pick, so he wouldn't be signing any new contracts when the season over. Oh. That would just be his contract. So they've locked him in for 4 years for $900K.
All right, and how much was guaranteed?
77,000.
Okay, all right. Well,
not even $100K.
That makes sense, and that makes sense. And you're right. That makes sense to sound like that, because you can always cut them because that's how the NFL's life is. Yeah. Travis says no chance of him being in the conversation for Rookie of the Year. We're talking about Jalen Carter. Yes, for defense.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Honestly, look. I'll tell you what. Defense was the cream of the crop of the draft. Let's be honest. From the secondary, all those cornerbacks coming in, all those D linemen. Someone is going to obviously someone's going to win Defensive Player of the Year, but Defensive Rookie of the Year. But I think Carter has a great shot.
I reckon he's going to get at least 6 sacks.
Yeah.
Like if he does 6 sacks, I think it's a
Oh
disappointment.
man, if you get 6 sacks from that position, yeah, that means the Eagles probably went freaking 15-2. You know, if he getting
That'd be
six
nice.
sacks from the D line position, oh my goodness, that's
Yeah,
nasty numbers right there.
that'd
That's
be nice.
that's definitely going to be defensive player of the year with 6 sacks from that
Well,
position.
again, I know it's practice. What preseason? He almost had. He should have had a sack, and he's had two already today and a fumble recovery. So it's up to three.
I tell you what, if Carter, my question to you now, TJ, before we wrap it up, if Carter never gets in trouble, do the Panthers or the Texans take him at 1 or 2 instead of a quarterback?
I agree. No, as a quarterback, no, I don't. I think those QBs were pretty locked in.
Okay, all right.
I think those
I,
QBs, but
I agree too. I agree. I think he goes. I think he goes over Will Anderson though for sure at 3.
I think if he was still there, maybe the Cardinals don't trade out
Yeah.
and they get him. If not, the Seahawks definitely
Because
go for
mind you, the
him.
Cardinals had just lost J.J. Watt.
Yeah, yeah,
Then you got your new J.J. Watt. If he doesn't get in trouble, he's that guy. Yeah. So
precisely. Yeah,
yeah, he's at 3. Then he's locked at 3 if he never gets in trouble.
definitely.
But to
Yeah.
go down 6 slots to get, oh my God, to the perfect scenario, man, get the crap out of here, man.
Do you think like Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean texted before his pro day say, "Look awful, drop, and we'll go for you"? So because he looked terrible in his pro day, he looked out of shape, he had cramps and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So bit of
probably so.
controversy.
And look, have you read the Johnny Manziel documentary coming out pretty soon?
Oh
Right?
yeah,
Did you hear about the details about that?
yeah, I did.
Like Johnny Manziel was gonna go to the combine high as hell, and his agent said we gotta fake your dad's gotta fake a heart attack.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
that stuff happens all the time. So I can see
That's
where
not
behind
it.
the scenes they say, hey man, you gotta look bad so you can
Yeah,
drop down. All
yeah.
right, cool. I can do that. So I got cramps. I ain't feeling good. I don't like your style of defense being ran, sir. You know. I don't think we'll mesh together.
No,
Yeah, I can see that. So if Johnny Manziel can have his dad fake a heart attack, I think my man can pull fake cramps.
that's crazy stuff like that happens. Like,
That's just, but hey, you got to realize though, we look at these guys from the outside in. These guys are just human beings like we all are. These guys
yeah,
are
no, I get
human
you.
beings, and they go through a lot of a lot of crazy stuff behind the scenes. So you don't, everything's not peaches and like the whole like the media was like they want to portray Johnny Manziel going there, but long enough to not get piss test.
Yes, yeah,
That's
he
what it was
didn't
all
want to.
about.
Yeah,
Go there and be a hero. Going for your dad having a heart attack. You're gonna leave the combine and go see your dad in the hospital. What a great guy.
that is a
I'm
story. Yeah.
sorry. Anybody was gonna do that and leave and go see their dad. I was like, that doesn't make you a freaking hero. That makes you a
No, that's true.
son that's worried
Yeah,
about your dad.
makes you a decent human being.
So he would have got the love from the fan. Oh, we were praying for your dad. Johnny, hope he gets well soon. And now he's a good guy. He's a money guy, and now he's a good guy. So
Yeah.
a lot of happens behind the scenes, y'all. That's freaking crazy, man. All right, TJ, let's wrap it up, man. What's your closing messages, brother?
Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next week. And stay safe out there. It's a crazy
Hey,
world.
short and simple. I like that. It is hot AF. It's currently 95 degrees in Louisiana where I'm at right now, and it's like
Madness.
almost 8:30 at night. So it tells you how sickening I am right now. This weather,
Yeah.
but still, yeah, you guys, stay safe, man. Stay hydrated, out. It's gonna be a great NFL season, and y'all kick it here right here next Tuesday for episode number 3 of Tuesdays with TJ, hosted by myself and presented by UnEducated Sports Talk. We got a lot going on, y'all. Cannot wait for week 2 of the NFL preseason starts on Thursday. I'll be here I'm off tomorrow, no YouTube tomorrow, but on Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have preseason. Your Eagles taking on the Cleveland
Indeed.
Browns. I'll be calling that
Yes.
game Thursday night, so y'all stay tuned with Uneducated Sports Talk. We want to see all of USC Nation here showing love. Appreciate that, you guys, and we had a great talk, man. Thank y'all for your questions, and thank you, Markai, for the donation as well. I
Yes.
appreciate
Thank you
that.
very much, Marco.
And you guys have a freaking blessed night. Christian Arujo says, mine's been busy working, but still watch the best UST Nation. Hit that like button. Thank you, Christian Arujo. I appreciate that. And you guys, hit that like button on your way out. Hit that subscribe button as well. And hit that share button. We want everyone to know about Tuesdays with TJ, the hottest NFL podcast on YouTube, y'all. Thank you, TJ. It's been a great night. And
Thanks for having me
cannot
on.
wait again to see you again next week for episode 3.
Have a great night, everyone.
All sports fans, for the homegirl PJ and the big dog TJ. I'm your host, Carlos Clayton. It's another episode of Tuesdays with TJ, episode number 2. All sports fans, you guys know what time it is. Stay smart, stay educated. Peace. Later, mama. Roger out. See y'all next week for Tuesdays with TJ, episode 3.
Bye.